with me right now. Mike Brooks is with me, HLN law enforcement analyst, and also with us is David Otunga. And all of us were inside what we've done here in our studio, which is outline the bathroom, the scene, as it's outlined in the sketch that you saw in the courtroom. Over here is the shower where Mike is. Next to Mike, this is significant. This is the closet door that she says Travis Alexander was coming out of. I'm over by the sink area right now. So what I'm going to do, Jodi Arias says at this moment that she's in the middle of this room. So let me walk over to the middle where Jodi Arias says she was. I have a mock gun with me, and she has described herself as outstretched, Mike. Travis Alexander is coming through the closet. She says she has her arms outstretched, and then she says he does that linebacker lunge.
Right, a linebacker lunge like that. She turned her head to the right, Vinny. And remember, the round impacted her in the right temple, and it lodged in his lower left jaw.
Okay,
so it was a right to left.
So that's one of the reasons I think she's saying linebacker lunge, because he's got to get Travis Alexander down lower.
Right. And keep in mind, she said he keeps coming at her. But remember, there's no soot, no stippling around where the bullet impacted his forehead.
What does that mean?
That means it was at least 18 inches, maybe 2 feet away.
Now, she described him as running. If you could, like, just quickly, just run at me. Let's see how quickly it happens when you run at me.
Oh,
how is it? I don't know how that happens without stippling.
And she came through.
David Otunga's laughing at this. David, go ahead. Is it ridiculous?
No, I mean, it is. I mean, that's going to be a tough shot. You know, if you have your hands outstretched with the gun, somebody's charging at you and dives. And this is also another wrestling move. It's what we would call a spear.
Right.
Just if you want to know.
Okay.
Anyway, somebody dives at you to spear you, and you're able to shoot them in the head? There's no way. No way.
And the other part of it, Mike, I think is crucial. We talk about the stippling, because if I'm 18 inches or less, then there's going to be stippling on Travis Alexander.
Right. And, did she wash the body off? But still, there would still be burn marks on his flesh where the impact was, depending how far the muzzle of this gun was to where the bullet impacted his forehead.
Now, there's another part. I don't know if we can reenact here, Mike, but she says that he sort of lands on top of her and they both end up on the ground.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because, okay, boom, the round goes off, but he keeps going. And then ends up on top of her, Vinny. So that's what her story is. But still, it doesn't sound right to me.
The more I think about this story, David, and what she's describing, it's like she's playing it in slow motion. But in fast motion, she's running out of that closet first. So, I mean, my goodness, she's running out of here with the gun. Then she's got to turn around. He's right behind her. And then she's got to extend and still be 18 inches or more away from her, and he's got to be low enough. She's 5'4", he's 5'9". He's got to be way down there, David.
Right, he's got to be going after her legs for that, to have a downward entrance wound. Yeah, and it, like you said, she runs out, he's on her heels, she turns around, arms outstretched. This had to all happen within a split second.
Yeah,
like immediate.
Mike, let's switch spots. Let's see if you do a better job with it. As I'm going to run. I'm going to try to run full speed out. I'm coming at you like this.
Yeah. No,
And is there going to be some sort of contact?
Yeah,
the gun is there. There's going to be some sort of contact with the gun itself, I would think.
Unless she gets to about there, boom, the round goes off, which would make about 18 inches, 2 feet.
Okay.
And then he comes towards her, and that's when they both fall to the ground, and she says, that she was on top of
question, Mike,
and
I don't know if you know the answer to this, and here's my question. I'll take the gun from you, sir. If you get shot, is that going to stop your momentum? If he's running, is his momentum going to continue to carry him this way? Or if you get shot, is that going to throw your momentum backwards? I don't know the answer to that.
With a 25 caliber, it's a fairly small caliber, so he could continue his momentum. I've seen people get shot and run blocks before.
Okay.
But it depends on the adrenaline and everything else. But he's still going to know that he is shot when that round impacts his skull, because that's a headshot.
Mike Brooks, professional wrestler, Harvard lawyer, David Otunga are going to stay with us, and we're going to go over what I believe from this scene is the most important piece of forensic evidence, and it undercuts Jodi Arias' story.
Show me the posture of Mr. Alexander
down and...
Well, show me the linebacker pose. That's what I'm asking for you to do.
Okay. He went like that, and he turned his head and grabbed my waist.
Just like that, correct?
Pretty much.
And he grabbed your waist, right?
I can't say it's just like that. That's what I
Well,
remember.
no, just I want, without talking, just show me the pose.
He got down like that.
Like that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and have a seat then.
That's Jodi Arias describing the linebacker lunge that she demonstrated in court, trying to show this jury what she says Travis Alexander did at the moment he was attacking her and then the moment that she shot him. Mike Brooks is back with me, along with David Otunga, Harvard lawyer, professional wrestler, Mike Brooks, HLN law enforcement analyst. We're inside an outline of Travis Alexander's bathroom. This is the shower. This is the body slam area. Now we're working on the other side. Mike Brooks is standing right where the sinks are and where the key piece of evidence in this case is, I believe. The piece of evidence that demonstrates that Jodi Arias' story does not make sense. Now let's get to the bullet casing, Mike Brooks.
Right.
She shoots from here. Which way would that bullet casing go when it gets ejected from the gun? Because here we see on the screen where it is found. It's found over by you, by the sink. That's where it is here. But
Right.
if you were shooting, like she said, in the middle of the room, which way does it go? Does it go this way or does it go that way?
Vinny, all of the semi-automatic handguns I own, they eject. When you fire a round, the empty shell casing ejects out to the right.
To the right.
To the right.
The opposite side of where the casing's found in this instance.
Exactly, but we don't know because again, this is a mock-up of a 9mm. This is the shell casing here is larger so people can see it. It's a full round. But if you look at that shell casing, it's on top of the blood. So that says to me that the stabbings and the cuttings occurred first, then that round was fired because, Vinny, there's no blood on that shell casing. Juan Martinez pointed that out and brought that up during the cross-examination.
And that's what we've demonstrated here in the corner. You see the casing on top of the blood. Because what Jodi Arias is saying is that the first wound is the gunshot wound. So if that's the first wound, there's no blood anywhere. So when the casing is ejected, it can't fall on top of blood. David Otunga, the reason I like this argument from Juan Martinez, yes, it's forensics. I understand that. But it's common sense.
Yeah, absolutely. In order for the casing to land on the blood must first be there. Well, how did the blood get there? Obviously, through use of the knife. She stabbed him or from cutting his throat. So that suggests that she actually did not shoot him first and shot him subsequently.
Mike Brooks, I guess another argument's going to be, hey, I kicked the shell casing and it landed on the blood afterwards. What's the likelihood of all that happening?
No, the likelihood of happening is I'd say, non-existent. And there was an inconsistency from Cross in relation to her direct because she said the shooting occurred over by the scales, and the scales were over there on that wall, Vinny, over to your left.
In this area.
Exactly. And still, where's the shell casing going to be? It could be closer to here, but it would be somewhere here. The whole story.
And the other part of it is let's put the picture back up on the screen here if we can of the casing, the close up on top of the blood, because you look at the whole casing itself, there's no blood on top of it. So if that thing is rolling through a bloody scene, it's going to pick up little pieces of blood on the way, David. I mean, come on, right?
It's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yep.
Yeah, if it had rolled into the blood, there would be blood on the casing showing that it had rolled through it. This looks like it landed perfectly right in that little spot of blood, and that held it there.
And the bottom line, Mike, what this does to her argument that the gunshot wound isn't first is that, okay, you don't believe this version, then you're not going to believe any of it. And then the knife is first. Why is there a knife inside the bathroom?
Exactly. You know what I'm waiting for, Vinny? I'm waiting for the jurors' questions because I know they got so many.
Oh.
That is going to be one of the most interesting parts of this, of her being on the stand, are the juror questions.
Absolutely. David Otunga, great to see you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Big thanks to Mike Brooks
Absolutely.
as well. And this, I think this is the most important piece, right? Common sense. If the shell has no blood on it and it fell on blood, she stabbed him first. We got more straight ahead.
And it was stabbed. You would acknowledge that, right?
Yes.
Welcome back to Making It in America. The prosecutor has ended his cross-examination of Jodi Arias. Monday, the defense will get a chance to try to undo any damage done to their case. Some of that testimony may include Arias describing how Travis Alexander allegedly body slammed her. I broke it all down with HLN law enforcement analyst Mike Brooks and professional wrestler and Harvard lawyer David Otunga. Take a look. If we do the traditional wrestling body slam, let's see what happens to Jodi Arias' head.
Okay, he's most likely he's right-handed, so he's most likely going to come and he's going to pick her up, stepping outside the shower, totally naked, all slippery, pick her up like this, reach underneath her crotch like we saw in there, and
flip her down.
Boom, right down on the ground. And which way is her head facing, Vinny?
Head's facing north. Which is the opposite. Now,
exactly.
Is there more than one way to body slam someone?
No, a body slam was just like you showed on the clip. You take the person up, and their head is out first, and then when you rotate them over, the head comes in towards you, and the legs go out. She testified that Travis was facing south. Okay, if he was facing south, then as he slammed her head would come back, it would face north, and her legs would be south. So there's no way they could wind up facing the same direction.
All right, let's talk about a body slam on a tile floor, David Otunga. You have been slammed. You have slammed more people. You guys know how to do it, but what would happen to a 5'4", 5'6", 115-pound woman who's getting slammed on a tile floor?
If you got slammed on a tile floor, you're going to be incapacitated. Definitely. I mean, it hurts when we get slammed in the ring, but just on a floor with no mat, no padding, that's going to be it. And she's only 5'5". Yeah, it's going to be devastating to you. And another thing, though, that strikes me as peculiar. So it's a tile floor. He's taking a shower. Obviously, it's slippery. To body slam someone, you need a good, solid base. Otherwise, it's very difficult, even if she's, a smaller woman, to pick her up and slam her right there without him falling over. And he may or may not have had one foot in the shower.
And this is such a crucial part of the testimony because her whole story is self-defense. Ryan Smith, host of Evening Express, joins us. And Ryan, I mean, if they don't believe the body slam.
Yeah. Well, if you're the defense, you got to do it like this. Body slam is a term that she used. It wasn't actually a body slam. Instead, maybe he pushed her, he shoved her. It's going to be... I know how you're looking at me, right? Because then she's backing off her story a little bit.
Yes.
So that's the tough part. But I also find a problem with the orientation. If her head is the way she says it was, or at least it seemed to be, how did she get up and run out? And then, of course, she has to beat him to the bathroom, as athletic as he is.
She's got to get past him. And she says after she's body slammed that she's able to run away from him.
Yeah.
She's got to get past him. It's not like she's running away from him. Literally, she's got to run past him to get down that hallway.
And then I still take issue with let's just say all of this happened. So now we're in the closet. She's in the closet. She is able to get up in that closet on one of the shelves, disturbing nothing on the shelves. At 5'5", reach all the way up the top, get the gun, and hold it on him before he allegedly comes in and tries to tackle her. So it's a lot of events that have to add up.